Today I want to talk about why rich people don't want to share with poor people. And we are talking purely monetary wealth right now. We are not talking wealth in the terms of like connection, relationships, quality of the relationships. We're just talking money. When I went to Senegal, which is West Africa, as a Peace Corps volunteer, I was placed with this family, and my family had an extended family, right? So we would visit our extended family quite often, and my mom had a younger sister, and every time I would come to their house, she would ask me, "How much are those shoes? Why don't you give them to me?" She would ask me, "How much is your bag? Why don't you give it to me?" And in Senegal specifically, it is completely okay for people to say, "Give me." That's almost like a compliment. She didn't mean it in a way to harass me, but me being very lonely and me being very much probably the only like lighter skinned person in my city, it felt like harassment at the time. Besides her, on a daily basis, I would get requests for money or favors from, in Senegal, they have these street beggars, like little boys whose parents essentially left them, and they're growing up in this like schools called Dara. And they are supposed to beg for money all day and then come home. It's a whole nother story, but you get asked for money from those kids throughout the day at least, I don't know, 5 to 10 times. And then you get asked from people like just random strangers you would meet every day. And after your 5th, 7th, or 10th request for the day, your heart becomes so resentful because it's just so many times you get asked to give and to help, and you just feel like people just want money from you and that's it. They don't care about your soul. They don't care about you as a human being. And you yourself being alone in that city, like the only lighter skinned person, you feel so lonely, and all you really want from people is just somebody to understand how you feel. Another reason why people who have don't want to share with those who have not is because a lot of those who have, if it's not inherited wealth, if it's a wealth that they were able to make in their lifetime, like they essentially became that wealthy themselves through hard work. Like if you know anything about being an entrepreneur, it's such a difficult journey. The level of financial uncertainty, the level of risk that you take, like you have to find solutions like out of nowhere. You have to like learn how to swim when people just threw you in the water. It's like it's that painful to be an entrepreneur, to start your own thing, and for other people just to come in and be like, "Well, why don't you share with me?" It feels like, what do you mean? Like I went through hell and back. I went through levels of stress where like my nails were lifting off, how stressed I was. My hair, I was losing my hair because your body decided that, limbs can wait. We are so stressed right now. So when you go through that level of pain and stress, and for some other people who never been through that to come in and say, "Well, why don't you just share with me? Why don't you just give it to me?" It feels like an insult. The third reason why those who have do not want to share with those who do not have is because they understand that giving money away to people who are poor is not gonna solve their problems, right? Money is what I'm discovering in my 30s right now, is money is a skill. You need to learn money. You need to learn how to save money. You need to learn how to say no to yourself. You need to learn how to make money, how to market your product. You need to learn how to invest money properly. Like, money is a skill, it's a learnable skill. And without giving people proper tools, you are not making their situation better. Because if you were to give me money before I started my business, I would just take a whole bunch of vacations because I don't know where I'm going. I don't know what I want to do with my life. I don't know what to put that money towards. Like, I don't know how to invest money. But I do want to live life to the fullest. I'm young. Like, I do want to travel. I do want to have nice things, nice experiences. And, you know, usually if you give a lot of money to a poor person, he's going to become poor very quickly, you know, back again. The fourth reason why rich people don't want to share with poor people is because rich people are not system changers, right? They live life as they know it. They know how to make money and be rich. Like, they don't know how to change the system, help the poor, like go against, make a revolution. I don't know, like, they're not gonna do all that, especially if the current system is what made them rich. A lot of times those who are poor due to their own reasons, right? There's systemic reasons why people are poor, obviously, because some people took advantage of them, obviously. But for a rich person, it's hard to convince them or to explain to them that there are certain challenges for certain people to be able to prosper and to become as rich as you are. Reason number 5, the entitlement that you hear in people's voices, especially those people who you have been helping for extended period of time, and once you stop helping them, they feel offended that you stopped. They feel deeply hurt by you, that you stopped feeding them, that you stopped helping them financially. And it just blows my mind. Like, I didn't have to help you to begin with. The ungratefulness in your voice, your audacity to even to be mad at me, you know what it does to a rich person? It makes you numb to other people's pain, because you realize that human nature, like, people are ungrateful in their nature. Like, they will be taking, and if you gonna keep giving them, eventually they will get used to it, and then you're gonna be the bad guy for stopping. So I want to summarize this video by telling you a story. There was a woman who used to sell gerte. Gerte is peanuts. Every time I would come by, she would say, "Come sit with me, chat with me. Like, I'm bored, talk to me." And she would say, "Tell me about America. Tell me about your family. Tell me about life in America." I would tell them about how, like, men don't want to get married in America, and like women don't want to have kids because it's so expensive, and like first world problems. And she would be so fascinated with the stories that I would tell her. And we would just sit there and chat, and I would tell her those stories in a funny way with my broken Wolof. And I felt welcome. I felt like she genuinely was interested in, like, me as a person. Never once she asked me to give her money. Never once. Even though she had 4 kids, like, youngest was like 7, I think. Never even once she asked me for money. And when I was leaving Senegal, like the day before my departure date, I went to the bank. I took out like 50,000 CFA. That's almost $100. And I gave it to her. I said, "Here's 50,000 CFA for you. I'm leaving Senegal, but you were so nice to me this whole time." I felt like home in a foreign country. Like, I felt, for once, I didn't feel lonely. It's not that when you have money you don't want to share. It's just that you want to share with those who have humble hearts. Like, there's people like that in this world who just like willing to do anything to make money or to take money from you. And I hate people who are like just like eager like that. And she wasn't eager. She was genuinely curious to like hang out with me. I know that if one day I will be rich, I do want to share, but I do want to share in a very sustainable ways so that it actually helps people long term, not just by giving money. And yeah. Oof. If you like this video, please subscribe, share with your friend. Thank you. Bye.